Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media, and welcome back to another book haul. This time I have a whole bunch of media tie-in books and some middle grade as well. So this is going to be a big one, almost 24 books to get through. Instead of splitting them up, I decided just to put them all in one video here. So let's not waste any time at all. Let's dive right into my latest media tie-in and middle grade book haul. I'm going to start with the biggest book in this pile today, and this was a cool find from Second and Charles called The Golden Age of B-Movies. This is written by Doug McClellan, and it has an intro from Evelyn Ankers, who apparently is the queen of the bees. I don't recognize that name, which probably says a lot about my knowledge, but I'm sure you guys probably do because you're smarter than me, but you can take a look on the back there. This looks like just a lot of fun to get through. There are a ton of different movies. You can see it is ripped a little bit there. This was like I don't have the price tag anymore, but this was like $2 or something, very cheap. I'm trying to get to, yeah, so you can see, if you can read that, that is the table of contents there. So this is going through a bunch of different things, and I can't wait to give this a look through at some point. But this was too cool to pass up. Another coffee table book for that part of my collection, but I thought this was a lot of fun, and I'm sure some of you out there are going to appreciate this because I know some of you are big fans of this type of film. So yeah, I thought this was a really cool find, especially for the price. We have The Golden Age of B-Movies by Doug McClellan. Let's move over to the middle grade. I guess I'll go through those first, and then we'll do the media tie-in later. But these first three here are all from the Creepers series of books, which you can find at your local Dollar Tree. So I always grab ones I don't have. I don't think these are in any order. No, there, let me do them in order. So first up, we have spine number 6, The Gravedigger. And this one and all of them are written by Edgar J. Hyde. Now, I was watching a recent video from Cameron Chaney over at his channel, Library Macabre, and he was mentioning that he thinks Edward J. Hyde is just a pseudonym for various writers that write this series. So that could be true. I don't know for sure, but either way, that is who is credited here as I try to get some stuff off the back. But anyway, yeah, so these are just middle grade horror. So that's Creepers, and then we'll continue through. I also grabbed spine number 7, which is The Scarecrow. Scarecrow books always frighten me. I love these. They always frightened me as a kid, I should say. I always loved them. So that is spine number 7 with that beautiful cover there. And then, last but not least, we have spine number 9. This one is Dr. Death. Really cool cover. These covers are great, especially you're getting them from the Dollar Tree for $1.25. Like, that's a really good deal. So yeah, 3 more books for my Creepers collection. I need to go through at some point and see which ones I'm missing so I can actually seek those out. But for now, here are 3 more. We have Dr. Death, The Scarecrow, and The Gravedigger. These covers all look great on these releases. This next stack of 7 books are all from the same line, and it's all Give Yourself Goosebumps books. I had so many of these when I was a kid, but I'm getting so many more now that I didn't even know existed back then. I was shocked to see how far this line goes. There are almost 40 books in the Give Yourself Goosebumps series, which is just crazy to me. But anyway, the first one here that I didn't have is spine number 6, which is Beware of the Purple Peanut Butter. This is a cover I vividly remember from my childhood that I owned. I love these. These are so cool. Of course, these are just choose your own adventure stories, right? So they're fun. Another cover that is very memorable to me is spine number 8, and this one is The Curse of the Creeping Coffin. What does this say? Boo, dude, Goosebumps is on TV. I love that. That's so cool. So yeah, 20 different scary endings. All right, and then we have spine number 12, which is Welcome to the Wicked Wax Museum. Definitely excited to get around to that one. You can see the original price sticker down there from, I think it's Target, right? Yeah, Target for $2.99. That's where I got so many of my Goosebumps books when I was a kid, was at Target, so that's cool to see. Spine number 15 is Please Don't Feed the Vampire. His bark is not worse than his bite. So that's really fun one there too. A little crazy looking poodle. This one's awesome. Little Comic Shop of Horrors. So that's spine number 17. That one looks really great also. Laugh at Your Own Risk. So cool. And then we have spine number 22, Returned to the Carnival of Horrors. So I'm guessing there is a Carnival of Horrors that I may or may not own. Frankly, I don't remember. But another one with the old Target sticker on it right down there, which is cool to see. Great cover on that one also. And then last but not least, I actually found this one separate from all these others at a different Second and Charles, and it has the newer style cover on it. Spine number 39, which is nuts. So you're getting close to the end of the series here. We have Scary Birthday to You. These covers are not nearly as good as the originals, but it's kind of nostalgic anyway, just because they are so bad. So I like that. But yeah, so just a ton of books from the Give Yourself Goosebumps line. I never see these. So when I found all of the, like 6 of them at one location and then another at the second location, I was very happy. So really cool to always add to my Goosebumps collection. One final one here, and this will tie into the media tie-in, sticking with Goosebumps. This is the TV book number 9, Go Eat Worms. This is awesome. I had a few of these when I was a kid, but not very many. And so whenever I see them, I'm always picking them up because I have very few in my collection at this point. But you can see this is a full-on novelization of the show, which was based on a book. And you guys know I love that Inception style. I forget, reading movies has a term for them, which I am totally blanking on right now, but I love that term for them. But anyway, this is the TV book number 9, Go Eat Worms. That's the last of the middle grade. Let's jump over now to the adult books. This next one is actually an omnibus, so it has multiple books in it, and it's from a series I have been collecting for a while now. We have the Complete Aliens Omnibus Volume 5. So in this one, we have Original Sin by Michael Jan Friedman, along with DNA War by Diane Carey. So I didn't have either of these in my collection, and this was a really good price at Second and Charles, so it was absolutely going into the collection. So yeah, I at one point am going to get through these, but for now I've only read a couple of the novelizations of the original films, and so definitely got to get around to the rest of this expanded series. But yeah, I love getting these omnibus. They're really cool. This is Aliens Complete Omnibus Volume 5. I'll show these two together as well because I found one at my local used bookstore, and that's when I realized that there was a series of these. And so I have here 2 books in the Independence Day series. So the first one is called War in the Desert, and this one is written by Stephen Molstad. And then we have, what is this one? Silent Zone, also written by Stephen Molstad. So this one, I believe, Silent Zone, is the prequel to the movie. And then this one takes place after the film, I want to say. So I think the novelization of the book goes in between these, but I could be wrong. But I know they're all part of that same series, including the novelization, which I also own. So now I have all 3 books from this little short series that they did of the Independence Day films. The only one I don't have, I don't think, is they did a novelization of the sequel as well, which I have to double check, but I don't think I own that one. But yeah, was happy to find both of these. Actually, I think one of these I grabbed off of eBay because the other one I found at my local used bookstore. So we have Silent Zone and War in the Desert, both by Stephen Molstad, part of the Independence Day series. I don't remember if I grabbed this one from my local bookstore or Second and Charles, but either way, I wanted to grab it because I'm interested in getting back into this series. This is The Walking Dead: Rise of the Governor. So I owned the sequel to this, I think, a while back in hardcover, and I ended up getting rid of it just because I didn't have the original and I didn't think I would end up getting around to it. But because this one was so cheap, and I am interested in revisiting this series, I think I left off at season 4. So I want to get back to it. The governor has been introduced in the show from where I'm at, but I would love to read this once I get to this part, the appropriate part within the series once I get back through it. So another one for the media tie-in collection, we have The Walking Dead: Rise of the Governor, and this one is written by Robert Kirkman and Jay Bonansinga. I should have practiced that one before I held it up. This was kind of an interesting novelization because it's based on an animated film from the DC universe. This is Wonder Woman. And this one is written by S.D. Perry and Britta Dennison. And you can see up here, you probably won't be able to read it, but it is based on the DC Universe animated original movie of the same title. So I don't really see these very often, so I definitely wanted to pick this one up. I'm fairly certain I do have this movie in my collection, but I've not seen that one yet. So I'll probably watch that first and then check this out. But yeah, S.D. Perry is one of the more well-known names. Speaking of Aliens books, S.D. Perry wrote a lot of those as well. So yeah, very intrigued to check this out eventually. This is Wonder Woman. This was such a cool find at Second and Charles. This is the novelization for Outland. And if you guys follow the channel closely, you might remember that I just picked this one up on DVD or Blu-ray. I forget which one I grabbed it on. But yeah, I just picked this one up recently to watch. And so this is the Sean Connery film. So I'm very intrigued to check it out. The best part, it's written by Alan Dean Foster, the godfather of the novelization. So was super excited to come across this. And you can see some pictures in there from the movie itself. Now, I want to be very careful with this because, frankly, it's not in the best shape, but I do think it is readable, which is what's most important. So, yeah, very excited that I was able to find Outland by Alan Dean Foster. It was the Blu-ray. I just saw it right behind me here. So, yeah, I grabbed the Blu-ray recently, so it's very fitting that I was able to find the novelization for it. But anyway, let's keep going here because I had the sequel to this novelization in my collection, but not the original until now. I found Species, and this one is written by Yvonne Navarro. This cover is awesome. I think that is so creepy and really just cool looking. So I don't think there's any pictures in this one. Well, there was one. Oh yeah, there is. Just not color pictures. So yeah, you do get some photos in there, which is cool. But yeah, I had Species 2 in my collection, and my local bookstore where I found this one, they've had Species 2 on their shelf multiple times for some reason, but they never had the original until now. So this was a really cool find. Definitely need to check out these movies because I haven't seen them since I was very, very little, and I don't really remember them at all. So yeah, excited to find Species. This was definitely my favorite find at Second and Charles the other day. I love these films. I mean, who doesn't? And I would love to find the sequels eventually, but I found a copy of the Back to the Future novelization. So this one is written by George Gipe, based on the Zemeckis screenplay. So I am so excited. I don't think there's any pictures in this one, no, but I'm very curious if anything has changed from the novelization to the actual film itself, which I've seen, more times than I can count. But this was an awesome find. Like, again, not in the best condition, all things considered, but very readable, and that's what matters. So yeah, very excited to have this one. Let me know if you guys are aware, if there's a lot of changes from the novelization to the film. I'm very curious about that. So yeah, awesome find with Back to the Future. So the last 3 books in this haul all come from like the vintage section of my local used bookstore, and they may have been there for a long time. I just never noticed it, but I found 2 books in the Han Solo trilogy. We have Han Solo's Revenge and Han Solo at Star's End. Yes, that's right. Both of these are written by Brian Daley, and you can see they are the old school novels. I don't believe these are going to be like first printings or anything because they weren't super expensive, but I think these are awesome because they are the kind of original run, or one of the original runs at least. I haven't even taken them out of these packages yet. I'm just afraid that they're going to, I'm afraid I'm going to mess them up. So I'll take them out when I want to read them, but for now they're staying in here. But these were awesome finds. There is one more in this trilogy that I do need to get. I have the other Han Solo trilogy, but not this one. So very happy that I was able to find these ones that have been on my list for a while now. Han Solo at Star's End and Han Solo's Revenge, both written by Brian Daley. And finally, the absolute coolest find at my local used bookstore, another one from the vintage section. This is a novelization of one of the episodes of the Planet of the Apes TV series. This is number 3, Journey into Terror, and this one is written by George Alec Effinger. You guys know, I am a gigantic Planet of the Apes fan. I didn't even know they did novelizations of the TV show. So when I saw this, I got super excited. I knew it was coming home, even though you can't see there is a hole punched in there for some reason, which is disappointing. But yeah, either way, this was absolutely coming home with me. Cannot wait to check this out. Another one that I've not taken out of the plastic, but I will because I really want to read this. So really cool find. I love this series. It's one of my all-time favorites, as I always say. So anytime I find anything Planet of the Apes related, I'm picking it up, especially for, you know, $9 or whatever it was. And that was the thing. I didn't realize that all of these vintage books, you can't use your store credit on them, and they're not 50% off like everything else. So these were a little bit more expensive than I was anticipating going up to the register, but still very worth it, especially for this one to have in the collection. So I would love to get the rest of this series, but for now, I have Planet of the Apes #3, Journey into Terror. And that is going to wrap up all of the middle grade and media tie-in books that I've picked up recently. All right, so this is about half of the stack I just showed. The other half is on the floor. I'm just going to leave that down there. But yeah, really fun stack of media tie-in. That's pretty much what I'm buying are these two styles of books, either middle grade or media tie-in. And that's kind of about it at this point. So yeah, I really need to do a project of going through all my books and getting rid of a whole bunch because I don't read physical that often. I do audiobooks a lot more. So yeah, but when it comes to novelizations, those I absolutely want in the physical form. But anyway, guys, let me know down in the comments below if you've read any of these, and if so, what do you recommend? Is that Back to the Future novelization better? Worse? Is it the same as the movie? Let me know about that if you are aware down there as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for checking this one out. Again, leave any of those comments. I appreciate anything down there, so thanks for that support. Before you take off, if you could just hit that like button down there, that engagement really does help me out. But with that said, thank you guys again for checking out this video. I really appreciate it. I know my book hauls are not everyone's cup of tea, but if you've made it this far, you are awesome. So thank you so much for that. And before you all go, I'll just encourage you all to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.